I welcome all of you with the Islamic greeting. May peace and blessing of Allah be on all of you. My topic today is about Around the World in 80 Days as appeared in English for Palestine 10A and 10B. I am going to summarize the story briefly in a nutshell. Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. Let's start. Fogg, who lived in London, was a rich man. He managed to travel around the world in 80 days after he made a bet or after he bet with his friends in the Reform Club that he would surely travel around the world, and if he won, he would take a sum of money from his friends. If he failed, he would pay them amount of money. So the journey started. Now, Fogg had a servant called Passpartout. He decided to take Passpartout with him. At this moment, the Bank of England was robbed. Was robbed. They thought that the robber was a good-looking man. They started their journey around the world. They traveled to Italy, then to Suez in Egypt. There, Pix watched or observed the appearance of Fogg, and he thought that he matched the description of the thief. So Fogg closely matched the description of the bank robber. After they left Egypt, they arrived Bombay in India, and Fix was following them. Passepartout decided to step inside a temple there in Bombay, but he didn't take off his shoes, so three priests attacked him. Unfortunately, he hit them back. Then he ran away with no shoes. He left his shoes there because the priests tried to let him take off his shoes. When he ran away, he went to Fogg in order to travel to Kolkata. Um, while the priests were hitting Passepartout, Fix was observing and watching all the things that either Passepartout or Fogg did. In India, while they were walking in a forest, they saw a group of people trying to burn an alive woman with her dead husband. This is called Suti in India. So they managed to save her. So what they did was that, or what they had done was that Passepartout took the place of the dead man and saved Aouda before the fire burnt her. They managed to take Aouda with them because her uncle was living in Hong Kong, so they decided to take her to her uncle. You should keep in mind that Fix was trying to stop them from traveling and visiting other places. He was waiting the correct arrest papers to arrive from London, so he was trying to put all the obstacles in their paths so that he can or he could arrest Fogg. In Kolkata, Fix brought the priests of Bombay, if you remember, to court in order to arrest Passepartout because he attacked the priests in Bombay. However, Fogg paid the bill and continued his journey. Then they left Kolkata and went to Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, they couldn't find Aouda's uncle, so they managed to take her with him to Europe or to London, and she agreed. Then they traveled to Yokohama so that they could travel or they could sail to San Francisco in America. They wanted to cross the ocean. Don't forget that Fix was watching and observing what Fogg, Passepartout, and Aouda were doing. They surely had obstacles, but they were able to cope up with these obstacles. One of these obstacles was the Sioux who attacked the train traveling from San Francisco to New York. They were able to cope up with this obstacle. When they crossed the ocean and arrived in England, Fogg was arrested by Fix. In the name of the Queen, I arrest you, said Fix. Why? Because he thought that Fogg is the bank robber. Later on, he discovered that Fogg is innocent. He wasn't the robber. Fix was sorry and he apologized. Then um, Fogg realized that he couldn't be on time in to the Reform Club. So he has to run as fast as possible in order to win the bet. He found that he was one day late, so he thought that he lost everything. Later on, Passepartout discovered that they there was still time to win because they won one day because they traveled east against the sun. They won one day because they traveled east against the sun. So Fogg won the bet and he was able to travel around the world in 80 days. That's all. See you soon. Thank you.